Hey everyone, welcome back to String Cheese and Applesauce, where today I'm going to do a Lego room tour. This is the first room tour of 2017. So what I'm going to plan on doing is probably hitting this about once a month, kind of give you an update of what's going on in my Lego room. Now, keep in mind this Lego room acts as not only where I store and sort and build my Lego, but it's also my recording studio for the Hidden Brick channel stuff. So everything that is recorded on there is also done in this room. So you'll kind of get a behind the scenes look at some of my recording setup, along with kind of how I organize the room, kind of, for all the Lego. I mean, it's just, it's just barfing Lego up everywhere. It's literally everywhere. It's definitely a growing collection. So let's go ahead and get it going right now. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is kind of lift the camera up off of the tripod, so that's the chair I was just sitting at. So as we lift it off, I can just kind of quickly do a little pan, so you kind of see the backdrop of what was behind me. We can go up a little bit higher and kind of get a aerial view. Now you may see that there's lights here. So this is, like I said, part of the recording studio. So as I go back around, see I've got a light off to the side. This light was sitting right in front of my face, and then you got the tripod right there. I actually have a mic that's attached to me. There's the cord. There's a recording device in my pocket. So I have an external mic that I'm using for my audio. But you can see I use the two light setup, and then I have another light stand somewhere if I ever need three lights. And then I have the ceiling fan light. So a lot of lights. Lighting is key for recording, along with the audio. So let's turn back around to this backdrop area. Let me move the chair out of the way. So what we're looking at here is the main table that my Lego City normally sits. It's currently still boxed up from conventions. Here lately, the only time that I have my city out is when I am at a convention. But what is going on back here, there's a lot of Lego on the table. So you can see I have some sets that are built over here that need to find a home. I have a partial MOC that I started that I'm actually in the process of disassembling because I didn't like the direction it was going, so that's coming apart. I have a MOC here that is in the works. That is not being disassembled, that's actually being assembled. Same with here. I have another MOC that is in the works. This is a MOC for my Lego City. So this is kind of the way I work. I usually have, and there's another MOC back there going on. Usually when I work, so I kind of have a little bit of ADD where I kind of get burnt out on something. So usually what I'll do is I'll work a little bit on this one, and then like a few days later, work a little bit on this one. A few days later, work on something else, and then kind of come back around. So I have a lot of balls kind of rolling at the same time, and I just try to keep up and keep them going. My priority is to get this one done first. It is about a third of the way done. You may say, oh, it looks almost completely done. Based on what I want to do with it, it's not quite even halfway there yet. And then all of this is just stuff that I need to disassemble. These were extra sets that I had that I let my kids put together because they wanted to build Lego. So they've been building all of this. But the reason they were extras is I had them because of all the parts. These are going to be parts that I'm going to use for my Lego City. So that's all waiting to be disassembled. We have the giant dumb wall of Lego back here. Has all the stuff sorted. We have sets up here that are assembled that I like and don't want to disassemble them at any time in the near future. I think maybe the Daily Bugle set is the next one to go. About had enough of looking at that one. But you've got the Final Flight. I think that's Destiny's Bounty. Well, either way, it's a Ninjago set. And then you got the Yellow Submarine. So there's some sets up there that I don't want to disassemble. So then the rest of this is Lego storage. Really not going to get into how I sort and store stuff. I've done videos on that, but basically all of this down here is storage. This whole corner is all storage. Obviously that is all storage. So we come to the famous closet. So that window, I wish my camera panned out or zoomed out a little bit more. So this wall, or this heap over here, is Lego sets that I've recently purchased and are in the queue to get built. So these are queued up. I'm ready to start building these as soon as possible. In addition to the sets that are under there in that little crevice between those drawers. And those sets are from the most recent haul that I did. So that's what this little pile is. Stuff that's ready to be built. I have 2 giant tubs. See these 2 tubs? That is disassembled sets that I just had to clear out of the way. You know, what you see here, the stuff needs to be disassembled. Imagine like the whole table at one time was full of them. So what I did was just disassembled them all and was just throwing them all in the tubs. So all of that is tubs of disassembled Lego that has to be sorted and put away. So if I ever have like a downtime, that's what I do, is I grab a couple scoops out of there, sort them and put them away. So opening the closet, here's all the Lego that has accumulated over the years, kind of stuff that, I don't know, I just run out of time to build, or I acquire faster than I could build it. A lot of this is big sets, stuff that take a long time to build. Some of it's not. Some of it's old stuff, like the Hobbit stuff. There's some Pirates, there's Atlantis, Toy Story stuff. Not much of this has changed from my last room tour. With the exception of up here, it's kind of my Lego Elves unbuilt sets. So the plan is, when the Disney Castle is getting built, my wife is going to build that while I build every single unopened Elves set that I have, which it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think I did the part count total of all of those, and that is actually more parts in those 11 sets than there are in this single set. So the competition is to see who finishes first. Me with all the Elves, or my wife with all the single one set. So in here we have, you know, Star Wars stuff. I actually have the most recent Millennium Falcon, and then the one that came out 2 or 3 years ago, which I think is right there. It may have been 4 or 5 years ago. I need to get that one out and build this one and compare the two. You can see there's some recent stuff in here. You got some Force Awakens, Star Wars stuff. That's not too new. Yeah, the Lord of the Rings stuff is old. There's some Lego Friends in there that I haven't built. Huh. See, I even forget what's all in here. There's the Milano. Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stuff. Some Chima. Everyone loves the Chima. Oh, look at that Chima. Dang. I think the stuff everyone drools over is this down there. For some reason, everyone likes the Black Pearl. Or the Pearly Nori. I got the multi-language version of the Black Pearl. People drool over that, and there's something else in here. I have all of my old modulars down there. So I have the fire station, the mercantile building, and one other old one down there. Can't remember which one it is off the top of my head. So yeah, that's there's room in here. I can buy some more Lego. There's room there. I'm trying to actually get that down. I want to eventually be you know what you know how they say inbox zero? I want to have it closet zero. I have net closet zero. So Stanley containers. This is a small part storage. A little bit of storage over there. All right, so looking back towards the workstation area. So this is the main table that I do all my build videos on, and this is the workstation area that I do all of the video editing and uploading. And then you can see I do some sorting. I have little bags of minifigures that what I've been doing lately as I build a set, I've been putting the minifigures away in a organized fashion versus just throwing them in a drawer, because this is the way I used to do it. They would just find a spot and go in there. But when it came time to actually organize the stuff, it was hard to find the stuff. So you can see I've started organizing them. This drawer is not as full. This drawer is not as full, but you can kind of see how it started to get a little messy. The bottom drawer is the most messy one. There's a lot of loose minifigures in there. So I'm trying to get those all organized. This is overflow stuff that needs to be disassembled and cars that I'm not disassembling. So this is stuff that I more or less put in my Lego City. And I've got some more overflow part storage here. Okay, and under the desk, there's a pile of Nexo Knights. That's actually all of my Nexo Knight stuff that I've built so far. It's all of first wave, most of the second wave. I haven't bought any of the third wave just yet. So I have a little pile, may not be little, it's a pretty big pile of Lego books. I have my brick separators. So this is everything, this pile over here is all the brick separators that I've accumulated till the end of 2016. I'm starting a pile for 2017. So every set that I open in 2017 that has a brick separator, I'm going to make the pile here. And I'm curious to see if I can, in 1 year, amass as many as I've collected in my lifetime of getting brick separators. And then I do have 4 that I always have kind of loose that I use when I do my disassembling and building. And I usually mark them. I usually try to put a mark or something on them to where I know that it's the 4 that I use, because they do get damaged. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me put it in some light. Yeah. See, the ends of them, they do get kind of bent up, and when you actually do use it and wedge it under plates and stuff, they actually do damage them. So I have 4 in rotation that are heavy use brick separators, and then the rest of the stuff in the pile is what I call new and mint. So yeah, oh, and the last thing is my minifigure cases. Not much has changed in these. I have all collectible minifigures in this case. I'm slowly switching these out with CMFs. This one is kind of a mixture of a lot of stuff, with the exception of, I guess, starting right here, all the way across, and then all the way across down here. It's all the Lego movie figures, and then this is just literally a mixture of everything. Got some classic figures here from my childhood, just space stuff and Electron, and then we have a lot of the newer stuff next to them. Circling back around, nothing really over here other than just some crashed planes, and then we're back where we started. So that, I think, is it. That is the room. So So we got sorting and storage back here with a giant building and layout space. Lego sets, a little bit of storage, studio space over here, workstation space, guitar if I ever play the guitar, and that's it. Alright guys, so that is it for my room tour of January 2017. So like I said earlier, this is kind of ever changing as I accumulate more stuff, as I build more stuff, as I sort and store more stuff. It's kind of, you know, it's interesting. I mean, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing how I kind of organize my room / studio. Maybe it'll give you some ideas. Maybe you guys have some tips and tricks that you can give me that will help me out in helping me organize and film and do all this YouTube stuff. So, I mean, not all this is for YouTube. It's really just the camera and audio stuff that's YouTube. The rest of it is strictly my hobby stuff. So I enjoy doing the mocks. I do that a lot. Obviously, I spend a lot of time building stuff for my other channel. So that kind of keeps the food on the table, pays the bills. But the fun stuff is doing the mocks, and that's kind of truly the origins of the hobby, I guess, for me and really for any Lego hobbyist. So yeah, put a comment down below. Curious to see if you guys liked this. I'm gonna try to do more if I get a positive response and a lot of good feedback. I'll definitely do a room tour at least once a month, maybe once every 2 months. It's it depends. So let me know, put a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next video.